What are some things that most people don't know about Plain Township Parks?
Great question. Plain Township Parks currently and to date has never received TAC dollars for funding. We've been solely reliant on the general fund operation. We've been solely reliant on the programming receipts, okay? I mentioned the general fund gets $88,000, which doesn't cover 10% of the taxes, and that goes to the health district. The reality is, of the 60 million taxes collected every year, the parks just doesn't see it. So I think when people see the parks and they see their growth and they see their expansion, they may not realize a lot of that's done through those other three arms I talked about: grant, donation, partnership. And because we're good stewards of the resources we have, and because we have a very passionate, very prideful group of employees who also live in the township, we've generated a level of service that I don't think can be matched in many places. So when you talk about Plain Parks, we're our own entity. We service our township and our residents. We have the three parks: Alino Park, Veterans Park, and Diamond Park, those 102 acres as I alluded to. But we are not currently funded with any tax dollars.
Well, now, I just voted for the Stark Parks levy last year.
Right.
And I think there's some confusion. I know that I've heard some people are confused with another parks levy. Can you explain the difference? Is this the same thing or something different?
That's a great question. It's a question we often get. It is different. Okay, let me be clear. I also voted for the Parks levy, Stark Parks levy. Okay, I'm a Stark County resident. I'm Plain Township. I did vote for the Stark Parks levy. They are a completely different entity. They have a completely different governing body, and they have a completely different funding source. They are public like we are public, but they are funded through different funds, governed differently, and are a separate entity. Ohio Revised Code says you cannot commingle public funds. So even if Stark Parks wanted to, they aren't legally allowed to even say, I'm going to earmark this money aside for the Plain Township operations. It's not even legal. So it's a separate park system, much like North Canton has a separate park system, much like Jackson Township has a separate park, much like Canton City.
Oh, I see.
They're all separate entities, okay? So the Stark Parks has a partnership with Plain Township. They maintain and deal with the maintenance of the actual Middle Brown Trail that wraps around veterans. But they do not service, operate, maintain, or provide any amenity to any of the three parks outside of that one trail. It's a wonderful trail. I use it all the time. I'm just trying to illustrate the difference in what Plain Parks is. We're a separate entity under the umbrella of Plain Township. Stark Parks is its own entity.
So you didn't get any money from the Starks? Okay.
No, ma'am, no. And it's not legally allowed to be given that way either.
Okay, I understand.